Hi there, Mike Hill speaking. Welcome to another Sunday sermon, but of course it's Monday today because my internet went down and I couldn't get a sermon onto the internet until today, Monday. It's my birthday, 67. I feel 67 as well, but a part of me inside is still a little boy. Anyway, this Sunday is fairly simple. There was a programme on telly and it was about the Supreme Court in my country. Supreme Court is a group of judges. I didn't know a lot about it, I still don't really. A group of judges and they look at the higher end of legal things. So they're not under the control of Parliament. So something will come up that someone disagrees with, or the government will make a policy and they will look at it and judge whether it's legal. Now, there was 3 men and 1 woman. This is the judges in the programme. And they came across as just ordinary people. They're certainly not doing ordinary jobs. And the jobs are difficult and stressful. And I think it's something like 12 judges, but however many, they don't all agree. So they're making law in a way, and it's just really interesting to see how they do it. Now, the point is that one of these judges, and I agree with him as well, I'm on his side, he says that his job, or the job of the Supreme Court, is not about morality. It's about law. So, as I saw it, what he's saying is that our country has laws. We're part of the European community and they have laws. So, we have the laws of the land, and their job is the top end of it, the Supreme Court, to make judgments on law, not morality. So as a disciple of Jesus, I know that the legal people, profession, and government and councils and a lot of others follow law. They don't follow morality. And though there is an intellect, there is a bit of morality in law. But I've got an example here. It's a pet hate, but excuse me. An article just came up on the internet. Dozens of women in the UK have had at least 7 abortions. Shocking new figures revealed today, it says. That's the opening bit. So dozens of women in the UK have had at least 7 abortions, and it is shocking. It goes on to say that the level of abortions has fallen a bit, but in 2009, and it was funny because that seemed a long time ago for me, because only 2011, it says in 2009 there was 189,100 abortions. The year before, 195,296 abortions. It says, I'm smiling and laughing because you can't believe it. This is my country. Okay. For 2,637 women, it was the 4th abortion. It's called termination, you see. The 5th for 779 women, and the 6th for 214. a total of 48 women had had 7 or more abortions. 94% of all abortions are paid for by the National Health Service. So, it breaks down a lot more, but you know, the point is here that a lot of babies, unborn babies, are being killed. And it's being paid for by the National Health Service. And it raises a lot of issues for me as an individual, not as a disciple of Jesus, as an individual. If the National Health Service can put babies to death, you know, they ain't going to care too much about me, are they? Or are they? So the law says that an unborn baby, if the mother doesn't want it, can be killed by the National Health Service. By killed, I mean have its life ended. But if it goes over a certain age in the womb, or if it's a child going in as a patient, then the law says you've got to care for that child. So here we have discrimination. So law discriminates. So you can go into court morally right, but the law will say you're wrong. You know? We're going to war in different places in the world. Our soldiers are dying and killing, and it's legal. And yet, in our hometowns, thousands and thousands of unborn babies are being killed, and it's legal. So, the final point is this. Talking as a disciple of Jesus, how do I deal with it? Well, I campaign against abortion, but it's legal. So I pray that the people who do the law will see the light, because it can't be God's will for the children to be killed. It's got to be the devil's will. Now, the people who are setting the laws, so that's members of Parliament, European, UK, the Supreme Court, whatever, are all doing their job to the best of their ability, but they are breaking God's moral law. Now, they may not believe in the God, their God may be a different God, whatever. The truth is that God is giving them freedom to do these things that are immoral according to God's law. But of course, he's not saying it's okay to kill babies in their mother's womb. He's got a bigger plan, and so he's showing patience, tolerance, mercy. But God is a perfect God, and he can be angry. So how much of what's wrong in this country, this world, is because God is angry? So if God's angry, does he show it? How does he show it? What is happening to us that's immoral, and what is happening to us that is actually God punishing us? So I stumble with my words because it's something that, you know, we don't readily think about, that God punishes. So of course we have the gospel. So we have the gospel of Jesus Christ, that, you know, he takes our sin onto himself, dies on the cross, and is raised again by the power of God, and his sacrifice for our sins is accepted. But there are Christians who support abortion, or don't campaign against it. I remember going to a Christian exhibition at Isha years ago, and I went to a stand organisation, something, you know, Society for the Protection of the Unborn Child. And this poor sad lady, all on her own, and she's standing there, got all the literature, and she said that no Christians have come near her all day. No Christians have come near her all day. So are you a disciple of Jesus? Well, if you're acting immorally, you may be lawful, but you're not pleasing God. You're not pleasing God at all. So this is a bit of a warning, and I hope someone out there starts to take it seriously. That just because our laws say it's all right for you to be immoral doesn't mean that God approves. And the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. God bless.